Evening, everybody. Welcome to Lesson Picks Show and Tell number 8. Hopefully, we'll have a much better live Facebook presence this week than last week, which was non-existent. And then a video last week, which was awful. So I'm going to say hi in the chat room here. Hi. All right. And Lori's not here. You might notice I'm now with a blonde. So hi, this is Teresa Ruth. This is Lesson Picks' official speech path-ish. Okay. Definitely the official speech path of Lesson Picks from the very beginning. And now also one of the 2 speech paths at Minor Achievements Therapy Center here in Tarpon Springs, Florida. Lori is on a road trip to go see her grandbaby in North Carolina, and she will be on the Facebook area. If you guys want to ask her a question, we'll be watching that as well. If you're joining in the Zoom, we can actually turn on your mic. We will be able to do that tonight. If you want to join in and ask questions live, we'll be happy to have you. And tonight we have a couple special guests. You are one, and you're going to probably talk about some of the stuff you're doing here at Minor Achievements and here in general in Tarpon Springs.
Yes.
And then we have a returning guest. We have Brenda Hegel from Clark County. Now, she was on last week with a couple other fabulous guests, right? Well, Juanita was on, and Tally Kellerstein. I'm going to butcher her name. Tally from the Sharing Center, so I know her.
Oh, yes, T-A-L-I.
Yeah, and she was great. And we managed to have a horrible technology week. So hopefully this is going to be a better time. It's already a better time because we haven't crashed yet, which is good.
Yeah.
So if you guys don't mind, let's go ahead and kick right over to Brenda. And Brenda, can you turn on your mic and your camera? Hi, how are you?
Hi.
You look great. All good?
All good.
It's so much better than last week, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a good start.
All right, so let me. So we are going to go ahead and kill my camera in a minute, but you showed some great stuff last week, and you're going to show us different stuff this week. And I'm very frustrated. If you guys didn't get to see last week's, the video quality is poor, and it's my fault. It's entirely my fault that the video quality is that poor. I made a mistake on how I recorded it, and I had to put this idiotic picture of Lori and I staring at like this at the screen every couple seconds. So I'm sorry about that, Brenda. Thank you for your patience, and thank you for coming back. We're going to have each of the guests last week back on a separate night to show their wares. But let me give you the full screen, and if you could share some goodies, we'll taunt you as necessary. And it wasn't that bad last time, right?
Right. I was able to come back. So.
Yeah, look at that. It couldn't have been that bad.
Yeah. All right. So I thought that I would just show how much I love the bingo cards. I already have these laminated, so they're a little bit shiny, I know, but I love that you can just put in all your bugs or whatever you're doing, and it just automatically prints out however many bingo cards you want, and then you have your calling cards, and so that's super fun and super easy because I have a lot of students that have category goals, but they don't even know the vocabulary for the category. So I decided, okay, well, we have to learn the vocabulary. So I did.
So I have to tell you, bingo is by far my favorite game. It is also, I don't know if you heard, I think at one point in one of these things I told the story, but bingo is why Lesson Picks exists. Did you know that?
No.
So Lori, years ago, Lori was making bingo cards the old way. Well, you know the old way where you cut out all the pictures and then you use like glue stick and you tack them on the page and you make a copy and then you pull them all off and you move them all around and you put them on and you make a copy. And her husband, me, said, "That's insane." And she said, "That's how you do it." And I said, "Well, I could write something that did that for you." And she said, "Then do it." And I did nothing for a solid year until we had another conversation about this because then everybody bothered me. And eventually that is very much why Lesson Picks exists, because if you can automate that process, you should. Computers are good at that kind of stuff, right?
Right. Well, when I was in graduate school, we made every single articulation card by hand and we colored them. And so,
Yeah, it's crazy. Okay. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I love, it's not just because of my last name. That has nothing to do with it, but
No, that's awesome.
yeah, it's awesome. All right. All yours. Sorry.
So I just will show a few of the other bingo cards I've made. I've done furniture, appliances. I just love, there's so many different furniture items.
What ages are your kiddos?
Well, I have pre-K through 8th. I'm using these with 2nd graders this year.
Gotcha.
1st and 2nd.
Yep.
Transportation, great transportation pictures. And then farm animal, and all these are in the sharing center, and I want to do more categories. So
Awesome. That's excellent.
that's the bingo. And then I was going to share, I had my low incidence, one of my low incidence disabilities teachers asked me to put together something for their communication time in their classroom, and these are for students that are pretty high needs. And she had this book. I don't know if you can see it. I tried to take a picture. Well, I don't think so. But anyway,
if you turn it at an angle, we can see.
like this.
Tilt it up.
forward.
Point it towards the ceiling. There you go. That's probably as good as we're going to see.
So anyway, it says school series curriculum for speech and language for students on the autism spectrum. And so I went through that book and I ended up making file folders of all the lessons in there and highlighting what she and her paraprofessionals could do and what I could use when I went into our classroom. And then I used lesson picks to make the cards for the different activities. For
Very
example,
cool.
One of them are just action ID. So I know I did some is verbing pictures last week, but this is just what is the person doing. So I have the different action ID pictures. So I cut them and laminated them. They're in the folder, so they're just all ready to go.
Very cool.
Another one was object association. So I have a bunch of different shoes and socks and
Stuff. Yeah.
towel, table and chair.
And these match what they were doing in that. Yes.
In the classroom.
Oh, in the classroom. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then I will use these for my other students too. This is just how I initially started using it. And then this is how my 2nd graders are using the same pictures, but with your puzzle.
And no words.
And no words, right?
Right.
And then they could jump up to sorting with the object associations after they learn what goes together. We could do all kinds of different games with that. So I'm excited about that. And then lesson picks was nice even for object generalization because you have a number of different same item, right?
Right.
So different flowers and leaves and
Fruits.
shirt, yeah, different groups, but of the same thing. So
Right.
chairs, a whole bunch of different kinds of chairs and boots,
Right.
different hats. So it was just really nice to be able to get in there and you just type in cars and all these different cars come up. So it was really easy to make the supports for the lessons in that book.
Yep. No, absolutely. And we do have it is one of the differences between us and some of the other symbol systems. Many of them have like one picture. And I understand, like if you're in an AAC setting, you want to be consistent. And we actually mark them as our preferred AAC picture. But we also have like dozens of happy, right? And they have like if you type in girl, you're going to get like 85 pictures of girls, right? So we have a huge variety of these pictures available. So I understand what you mean. You type in, leaves or flowers or whatever, and they come up.
I wanted to interject because we have a lot of people who ask for category pictures, like one picture or an image with like the different types of furniture or things. And are you aware of our symbol builder?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So those pictures you have for furniture, you could take some of the individual photos, combine it in the symbol builder, and make a card for that category. So when you do sorting later, using those same individual pictures, you could have this as your title.
Okay.
You understand what I mean?
So
And
I'll play around with it.
Yeah.
then also, did you ever show the stickers?
Yes, we did
Okay.
the stickers. So you can put overlays onto people's pictures and stuff.
Well, and also if she's talking about the different kinds of flowers and things and hats. Even if there's a hat you like, you could use the stickers and add, different things to the hats,
To adjust them.
to the
Or
symbol
change the colors,
builder.
right?
Yeah, for the symbol builder, you could add a little flower on the top of the same hat, so you could
That's
really
a
do
good
that
idea.
fine tuning of the differences.
Yep.
Yeah.
It could be the same hat, but one has a little flower on it or something. So if
Right,
you
which
do
would
that
almost make it a
fine-
little bit easier, right? And
Right.
then
Right.
build to the higher level. So
Yes.
Yeah.
an idea.
Yeah. All right. It's all back to you.
Okay. This is just really simple, but it's just in that book was just object identification. So just showing the pictures and the students just identifying. So a whole bunch of
Gotcha.
different objects. And then body parts was another one of the lessons. And then, so it was really easy to get body parts from there. I think it'd be nice to also take pictures of some of the real body parts that are appropriate and
Yep.
the students' body parts. I've used lesson picks a lot for reinforcers. So you have your reinforcement cards, and then students get to choose what reinforcer they want to work for at the end. And so this is just an idea for after I bought a lot of different reinforcers, then I just put it on a file folder with Velcro, and then they might not have this many choices, right? But I would give them a few different choices. I can pull them off really quickly, and they can choose what they want to work for. Just another with the real pictures again.
Right. And you uploaded all those by email, or did you upload them from your computer?
Email.
Yeah, email is definitely the easier way to go, right?
Yeah, super easy. And then I have what goes together, what does not belong.
Okay.
So I use that. Again, just super easy to pull up the cards and put them with the pictures and put them where you want them. And then the students can use dry erase or whatever to cross out what doesn't belong and tell me why it doesn't belong. And that's all I have for tonight.
You're doing great. That's absolutely great. And actually, I love the fact that one of the things you and Lori have both done is, like, we had an entire presentation once where Lori only used picture cards. And I'm like, you're only showing one template. And she goes, yeah, but look, I did it this way. And look, I did it this way. And I'm sitting here going, okay, but it is really one of the most versatile things around, right? Our dynamic picture card tool is really easy. It lets you move the pictures around. It lets you do kind of really powerful stuff. Maybe I should, why don't we do this? Why don't I take a second before you grab all your stuff and make a mess? Why don't I go ahead and show, well, you can show,
I'm going to show this. It's
all right,
relevant.
go ahead. All right.
This is like for our garden club, so you can also color the backgrounds to go with
The stuff.
the core board.
Yeah.
To match, because the core board has different backgrounds for nouns and verbs, and then we do the additional garden vocabulary in that same color-coded way for the fringe vocabulary.
Right.
So, and that's another thing
Another
you can
use.
do with the picture card.
So let me go ahead and show how to make the dynamic picture cards. You can keep your camera up. It's fine. I am going to share that. So hopefully you're looking at lesson picks. Yes, I hope.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So within lesson picks, if you want to see how to make those dynamic cards, we'll just grab some pictures and throw them into the tray. We had some custom ones over here that I was working on before, but let's say you have a category of anything that you're working on. I don't know. We'll do birds.
Okay.
Why not birds, right? All you've got to do is take some of the pictures, put them into your tray. This is very standard. Take a blue jay and a cardinal, and it's that time of year here. There's cardinals in our yard.
Mm-hmm.
An emu, a duck, eagle. Once you've got a set of pictures, it doesn't really matter which ones they are. If you hit create materials, the very first thing you're going to see when it asks you what you want to create is the picture card tab. And if you hit next, you can change the text on these. But on this page, it used to come up like this, where you would choose the size of cards that you wanted to make. And the dynamic one is much more useful than that. So this first tab, it says dynamic, lets you do some really powerful things. You can say, just fit them all on one page. I don't care how many are on a page. I don't remember how many I put into the tray. If there's 20, it's going to figure out, 5 by 4. Just fit them all on one page. You can even tell it the size. I want to fit it onto a landscape letter page, and it will do that. Or you can be very specific. You can say, I want them to be exactly, 2.3 inches across. That way they'll fit into the devices you're working on. Or I want to put them into a grid that has 7 columns and 5 rows. And it will make that, no matter how many pictures are in your tray, it will actually make exactly 7 by 5 on this page. So there's other options down here that are like, do I want a border? I'd like a thin border. I want no spacing, things like that. Where do you want the text, on the top or the bottom?
What does the spacing mean?
So the spacing is
A lot of people don't know
the
that.
actual squares. If you say no spacing, there literally will be no gap between the individual cards. So when you cut them, they're very easy. There's no white space around them. If you want white space around them, or you're placing them on a card, you can actually choose like wide spacing. It'll have more gaps between all the cards. Okay. So no matter how you choose these, if you hit grid layout, it will actually show you that 7 by 35 grid or 7 by 5 grid. You can move things around. Maybe you need lots of space for a kid, to be able to point, and you don't want things, crunched up. You want everything spaced out. You can do that like this, and you want lots of space at the bottom because who knows? You want to write some things. You want room for things you're going to add later.
Spelling.
Spelling. Yep. Whatever you do, you can paint the cells. So if I want to make, the different rows, different colors, I can do that. For whatever reason you're coloring these, it's fine. Oops, this one. That one green. There you go. So I can make these green like this. I'll make them all green for now, except for maybe the middle ones. We'll make them pink. Okay, like that. When I hit save layout, if I then hit finish, it will generate exactly that page. It'll be spaced out that way. You'll have your backgrounds colored. It will have no spacing and a medium border, whichever options I chose, I don't remember. So it had thin spacing. So the spacing is this white section right here. And then the border is the black section. So you can make a thick border and wide spacing, thin border, no spacing, all of those things just fine. And it makes something really quickly that you can control. And Lori does all kinds of crazy stuff. Another really good tip on these that a lot of people don't think of is that if you set the box color to white, what you end up getting is all the pictures you want with none of the boxes. And so the exact same template, right? If I look at them now, I don't have any of the actual boxes. So it's a great way if you want to lay things out.
Make checkerboards.
I could make checkerboards. I did actually, and I'm missing one right here. But absolutely, you can make anything you want with these. It is by itself. This thing, you can make an entire school year's worth of stuff with just this one template. It is probably our most powerful template that we have in there.
I like the checkerboards.
I like the checkerboards. All right, so then we can do that for the next social skills
There we
group.
go.
All right, so let me stop sharing my screen. Did you knew all that though, right? Brenda, you're a pro.
No, I'm not. I'm watching and learning. So that's
Oh,
great.
cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I appreciate you coming on again, and I love the stuff you showed last time on social skills, and you actually are using social thinking, right?
Mhm.
And you made supporting materials with lesson picks.
Right.
So that's in the other video, and I will include a link on this Facebook page that links to that one. And forgive me for the lousy
Yeah,
quality.
you can't see some of the stuff you made.
All right.
But
Oh,
I did my
did
best.
you put it in the share center?
Yes, it's all shared. I made sure.
Excellent.
I
Excellent.
borrowed
Thank you.
the green bubble and the red thinking bubble. I like those.
Excellent.
I appreciate it when people share. So that's
Yeah. All right. Well, let me let's show some of the stuff you're doing. And actually, I also have a we have an experimental thing. I have a couple things I want to show as well.
Oh, see, I learned something new too.
So I'm gonna talk about our groups today, and I might go on a field trip.
Okay.
Maybe if the sun's still out. I think it is. So we might take something. We might go very
Rogue.
experimental. Experimental. So we had a friend joining us from Miami-Dade County, and she's not here. So such is life. We will dance without her and taunt her when she does show up. But we have some extra time, so let's go through the stuff you're using you went over that early. And so, Brenda, if you can drop your screen for a second. You can stay on and taunt us, though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
feel free.
Ask
Feel free.
questions.
Turnabout's fair play, right?
Yes.
All right. So first, let's talk about what this is. You have every Saturday morning. What are you doing here at Minor Achievements?
We are doing a social garden club, and the kids are 4 to 7 years old and all different abilities. And they come and we read a story. Well, we introduce everybody. We have a greeter who goes around and says hello, and we use a core board for those who aren't verbal.
Or even those who are.
And the ones who are verbal use it too, but they model, so they're really good about that. And we read a story each week, and then we have the fringe vocabulary
For the garden.
Story and the garden. Let's find one for the story.
Give me
And then
You're just like Lori. I get to hold everything for
you're Vanna. So last week we did Fox Makes Friends story because we were talking about friends, and the light's kind of weird. So we had this as our fringe vocabulary, and the kids, worked on who were the friends and mother. Of course, last week we talked about mothers.
Okay. It was Mother's Day.
Yes.
That's why. Got it.
And then we typically will talk about what we're doing in the garden, and then we'll go out into the garden, and the kids have many opportunities to do social activities with each other, sharing, planting. They ask for the gloves, which gloves they want. They, they have the spades. We have the different plants they can choose from. They help each other dig the holes and put everything in. There's a lot of language going on. Then we usually do a craft or a snack. And again, we set it up so the kids have to ask each other for things or play together and request help.
And some of these kids have real trouble with social skills.
Oh, yes. They, run over everybody.
Even some of the teachers' kids have real trouble with social skills sometimes.
They get jealous of the other kids.
Yeah.
Meaning mine. But it's been a very
Your kids are great.
Good experience. We've done it since, 3 months now?
Yeah, we started March 1st, right?
And we're getting ready to end because it's getting too hot.
Yeah.
And it's this end of the school year. But we have some really good plants.
Yeah.
The kids tried the plants that they grew.
Can I show them?
Mm-hmm.
Let
They
me see if I can
loved
show
the peppers.
this.
They didn't think they would, but they did.
All right. Hopefully you guys can. So Brenda, can you see that?
Yes.
All right. So it's a chocolate pepper.
Yeah, we thought it was dying, but apparently the gardener told us it wasn't.
It's actually
chocolate
supposed
pepper.
to look like that, right?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So and they're coming in great. Let me see if I can go to the next one. Oh, I see what I did. I'm sorry. I stink. Give me a second.
Oh, you messed up.
I know. Just deal with it.
So we have peppers, carrots, different kinds. That's a sad pepper.
It's a sad pepper. But the kids learn about the ones that didn't get enough water and the ones that do get enough water. And
they have to weed.
It's cherry tomatoes.
Tomatoes.
Nice.
Lovely beefsteak tomatoes. Those are getting big.
Is that a grasshopper? We got to go get rid of him.
Well, no, I think he's a bee. What is he?
Looks like a grasshopper.
Well, let's see. I don't know why I
That's
can't seem
okay.
to zoom in.
You don't need to worry about it.
You're worrying me.
Nope.
That's a bud.
That's another
That's
flower.
another flower. We're gonna get another tomato there, so we're all good. And Brenda's in Atlanta. They have lots of gardens in Atlanta.
Yes.
It's a great activity. We just did shallow boxes. They're not real deep.
Yep. That's actually the full garden, right? And so it's all watered by rainwater.
Mm-hmm.
And we did well. We went like a month with no rain, and we still had enough water out there in the barrels to take care of these. So I'm very excited that it's raining outside. The rainwater is kind of that's my contribution. Is I made the well.
But
Yeah.
this week we're
I
gonna
make stuff.
This week we're gonna pull some more peppers and try them, and then our carrots are also ready.
Are you gonna graph things? You should graph like how
Well,
many.
we probably will for taste
Yeah.
testing.
The kids I couldn't believe they liked the peppers. They love the peppers. And I didn't take pictures, but you have pineapples in there too.
Yes, we planted pineapples. We painted pots. We painted rocks for the garden.
Wouldn't everybody should do this, right?
It was fun. It's a
Yeah.
very fun thing.
Yeah.
And the kids are, doing fine motor. They're doing social skills. They're doing gross motor. They're doing all kinds of
And
stuff.
there are visuals everywhere because you're here.
Yes, and we have them all in these plastic containers to go outside, and so they don't.
Did you use the
doesn't matter if they get
guest
dirty.
suit or not?
I haven't done it yet, but
You're going to use the
there's
guest suit?
one in there if you want to do it.
Is there a garden one in here?
No.
No. All right.
Oh, here. It's right here.
Thanks.
We have the pirate one.
All
still.
right. So maybe guess who ones will be coming soon. All right. So we have just a few. Actually, we only have 1 minute. We're actually on time. Maybe we just need one guest. All right. I do want to show a couple things as we go. Brenda, thank you for sticking with us. I'm going to share my screen for a second and answer a couple questions. We have. Let me see if I can bring this up. So one of the things that happens this time of year, a lot. Let me save this. Sorry, one sec. It says literally on my screen. It says working on it. Right?
It does.
It does. So this I can't do this any faster. Not responding. Well, all right. It happens to the best of us. So I had a picture to show you, but if it doesn't come back, I'm not going to. We have a lot of questions this time of year about our group licenses. We have a lot of people signing up, a lot of people trying to convert individual accounts to group accounts. And so I wanted to answer a couple questions that come up a lot. How do they work? How are they priced? Our Lesson Picks is always priced per user. It is always priced as in terms of the number of people accessing it. Human users, not like we don't have a site license that gives it for as many people as you want, but we give great discounts starting at 10, 25, 100 users. We give discounts.
It's not per computer.
It's not per computer. It's per user. You can access it from anywhere you want. And let me share what we do for people. So if we have a group, a lot of people ask, how do I manage that? So what we do for the administrators, if you're not an administrator, you won't ever have seen this. I blurred this because it's got real people's info. But the way that it works is we actually let the administrator of the group have a group, have a pool of licenses. For example, this person has 25 licenses and they got one free one for the administrator. They can assign that to as many people as they want by giving out a code that those people sign up as. Those people create their own username. 25 people can sign up. Well, up to 25. They can ask for more.
Yes,
okay.
And add more.
And then those folks create their own usernames and password. If you have people who already have accounts, those accounts are migrated in. And then the only thing the administrator can do that's kind of nice is they can see who's using it. So these blue ones are power users, active users, and inactive users. If somebody hasn't been there 30 days, it'll say N for no data. Yeah, new. There you go. They also can reset the password and they can remove users. This is great because it takes the number one biggest cost of us is people calling to reset their password. I can't log in is our biggest thing. We give that to the administrators and that saves us a ton of time. If somebody leaves, goes on maternity leave or leaves the district, they can remove that and reassign that to somebody else. So if any of you are as coming down to the end of your year and you want to talk to your leads about getting lesson picks for your group, it's easy. Just shoot an email to licensing@lessonpicks.com or hit the help button and say, I've got a question about licensing, and we'll get you a quote. So I wanted to make sure I said that. It's a slight sales thing, but we get a lot of calls at the end of the year because people have money to spend before July 1st.
And the other thing we run into a lot is when people get added to a group at school, they'll often make a new name.
Yeah, we don't want that.
And then they get a notice that their account is expired, but it's really their old account.
Well, and they lose their stuff. They lose all their materials. We don't want that. So we migrate people in. Also, if we can, in other words, if your credit card will let us, we will always refund your money if you get covered by a group. So even if you already have a Lesson Picks account, if you join a group, we will refund your money if your credit card will let you. Usually that means 180 days. Amex is longer. I think it might be almost a year. Yeah, but we always will do that if we can. So I think that probably covers the night. So I don't talk as much when you're here. I usually yammer.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Well, listen, I appreciate everybody. Brent and Brenda, thank you for joining us. I appreciate everybody who joined us on Facebook. I don't see any questions on Zoom. My Facebook window just shrunk and disappeared. There it is. I don't know where it went. Wherever the Facebook window went, let's see. There we go. Sorry. If you have any questions on Facebook, just post them underneath. We'll answer them later tonight. And hopefully this will be a great video that we can send out to Brenda, to your group, and just have it up there on Facebook and not be a train wreck like last week. Right?
Right.
All right. Thank you so much. And I'll see you later. Brenda, if you ever want to come back, let us know, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Brenda.
Bye, everybody.